Hey guys, I'm back with another video. In this video, we are going to talk about the Persian alphabet. Hi again, my name is Asal and I'm a Farsi native speaker. In this channel, I want to teach you Persian. So if you are interested in this language, you can subscribe my channel and tell your other friends if they are interested to learning language. I study English translation at the university. Also, I can speak Spanish and I have another channel which is in Farsi and I teach Spanish in that channel. And also, I know a little bit French. Anyway, I love learning languages and any languages that I can and I have time, I would love to learn it. So in this channel, I'm going to teach you Persian with a very good and a practical method. Let's start with the Persian alphabet. Persian alphabet is similar to Arabic alphabet with a little changes and differences. And as I told you before, the Persian script is written from right to left. It has 32 letters. However, like many other languages, some letters may have similar sounds and some letters may have different sounds in different words. For example, in English, letters C, K, and Q usually pronounced same as K. Or the letter G, sometimes pronounced G and sometimes pronounced J, like goal or George. So that's not a big deal. Okay, Persian have 6 main vowel sounds and 23 consonants. 23 consonants usually show and represented in letters. And the same is with the 3 long vowel, A, U, E. We also show them and use letters to represent these vowels. But we usually do not use letters to show the 3 short vowels, which is A, E, O. But we may use some symbols under or above a consonant letter to show their sounds. We will talk about the short vowels in the next video. Persian alphabet is written somehow in a cursive form, so they connect with each other, except 7 of them that won't connect with the following letter. So each letter may have 4 different forms, which is depending on its position, initial, medial, or at the final, whether it attached or not. It's very different with the English letters and script or the other Romance languages. So maybe you're unfamiliar with it, but with practice you can learn it. Majority of the Persian letters have equivalent in English, but there are some that are new and we don't have in English language. So let's start with the first letter, which is named Aleph. At the beginning of the word, it's formed like this and sounds like A. And these are the other form at the medial or final of a word. They also sound A. It's a long vowel. If we use this second form, okay, at the beginning of a word, it may sound A, E, O. It may have these 3 sounds at the beginning of a word. But don't worry, for the absolute beginners, we use some symbols to show their sounds. For example, for A, we use this form, E, and for O, this one. Don't worry, we talk about the short vowels and these symbols in the next video. And note that Aleph is one of the 7 letters that won't connect to the following letter. The second Persian letter is B, which pronounced B, okay? As in English, like the initial sounds of bed. The form of the B at the beginning or the middle of a word is like this, and at the end of a word is like this. Now with these letters, we can make 2 words. For example, Ab, which means water, and Ba, which means father. The third letter in Persian language is named P, which is pronounced like pen in English. It's similar to letter B. Instead of one dot, it has three dots. At the beginning and the middle of a word, its form is like this, and at the end is like this. We can make a new word with this letter also. Pa. Pa means foot. The fourth letter is named T, which is pronounced T, like 10 in English, and is also similar to B and P. Instead, it has two dots. At the beginning or middle of a word is like this, and at the end of the word is like this. We can make a new word, which is tub. Tub means swing. The fifth letter is named Se. Se, which is pronounced S, like 7 in English. Again, it's similar to B, P, and T letters. Instead, it has three dots above the letter. So the form is like the others, at the beginning or middle of the word like this, and at the end of the word is like this. A new word which we can make is sabt. Sabt means record. The sixth letter is jim, which sounds J, like jeep in English. And its initial or middle form is like this one, and at the end of the word is like this. For example, ja. Ja in English means place. And Taj, which is crown, at the beginning of the word is written like this, and at the end of the word is like this one. The seventh letter is named Che. Che sounds ch, like a chair in English. It is similar to jim, but instead it has three dots. So the form of the beginning or the middle is like this one, and at the end is like this. For example, chop, which means print. The eighth letter is he. He sounds like hotel. Hotel in English. And the form is similar to jim and che, but it doesn't have any dots. Initial and middle form, and at the end of the word. For example, hobab, which means bubble. Hobab. The ninth letter in Persian is khe. We don't have any equivalent of this letter in English. It sounds okay, but we have the same sounds in Spanish, which the letter jota, it has the same sound, and its form is like jim, che, he, and he is similar to them. Instead, it has a dot above it. So at the beginning or in the middle of the word, its form is like this one, and at the end of the word is like this. And for example, bacht. Bacht means fortune. The 10th letter is dal, and its initial, medial, and final position has one form, is like this one. An example is bod, which means wind. And remember that dal is one of those 7 letters that won't connect to the following letter. The 11th letter is zal. Zal is pronounced z, like a zebra in English, and its form is similar to dal. Instead, it has a dot above it, and all the form from initial, medial, and final has the same form, like this. And also, it is one of those 7 letters that won't connect to the next letters. And the example is zot. The 12th letter is re. Re sounds r, like radio in English. But our pronunciation of the letter re is similar to the pronunciation of the Spanish speakers, not like English speakers, which we say radio. In Persian, we say radio. It has one form in initial, medial, and final of a word. This one. re. For example, deracht. Deracht means tree in English. And note that re also is one of those 7 letters that won't connect to the following letter. The 13th letter is Z. Also, this letter sounds Z, again, like a zebra in English. And its form is like re, instead it has a dot above it. It has a 1 form in all positions, initial, medial, and final of a word. An example is zard. Zard means yellow. Also note that Z is one of those 7 letters that won't connect to the next or following letter. The 14th letter is letter J. J sounds J, like garage in English. It's similar to re and Z, but instead it has 3 dots above it. It has 1 form at the initial, medial, or final of a word. And for example is beige. And also, J is one of those 7 letters that won't connect to the next and following letter. The 15th letter is sin, which is pronounced s, like sing in English. And at the beginning or in middle of the word is like this. And at the end of the word is like this one. And the words that we can make is like cold, which is sad. You see, it's like this. Or a lesson means dars. Dars is like this one. The 16th letter is shin, which sounds sh, like fish in English. Its form is similar to sin. Instead, it has 3 dots above it. At the beginning or the middle of the word, its form is like this. And at the end of the word, its form is like this one. For example, shab means night. The 17th letter is sad, which is pronounced se. For example, like soap in English. And the form at the beginning or the middle of the word is like this. And also, the form at the end of the word is like this one. Words that we can make is like sad means 100. The 18th letter is zad. Zad is pronounced z, like zip in English. And its form is similar to sad. Instead, it has a dot above it. And the form at the beginning or the middle of the word and the form at the end of the word. For example, zarb. The 19th letter is ta, which is pronounced t. For example, like tank in English. It has 1 form in all positions, initial, medial, or final of a word. And it's like this one. For example, tar. Tar means plan. You can see this letter at the initial of a word in this example. And the other example is khat. Khat means line. As you can see, at the end of the word, it also has this form. The 20th letter is za. Za is pronounced like z, again like a zebra in English. And it's like the letter ta. Instead, it has a dot above it. And also, it has a form in all positions. For example, nazar. Nazar means opinion. The 21st letter is ain. Ain is pronounced as the glottal in the word stop. Oh, oh. This consonant is not very common in English letters. This letter has 4 different forms in Persian. So let's see. In the beginning of the word and detached medial positions, it is like this. For example, in the word asr, which means evening, or the word dua, which means praying. In the medial attached position, it is like this. For example, ba'd. Ba'd means later or then. In the final attached position, it is like this. For example, robe. And finally, in the final detached position, it is like this. For example, the word sar. The 22nd letter is the letter qain, which is pronounced like q. There isn't any equivalent sound in English, but we have in French like the word merci. Merci. You see, sounds q. And also, its form is similar to ain. Instead, it has a dot above it. Therefore, it has 4 different forms in Persian. Let's see. In the beginning of the word and medial detached position, it is like, and for example, ghaza means food, or the word agaz means beginning. In the medial attached position, it is like this. And for example, joqd means owl. In the final attached position, the form is like this. And finally, in the final detached position, it is like this. And for example, bagh. Bagh means garden. The 23rd letter is letter f, which is pronounced f. For example, like far in English. And at the beginning or middle of the word, it has this form. And at the end of the word, it's like this. For example, farda. Farda means tomorrow. The 24th letter is qaf. Qaf is pronounced like q, which we don't have these sounds in English. But again, in French, we have this, for example, in the word merci. And it has 2 forms. Initial and the medial of the word is like this. And at the end of the word is like this. For example, qashuq, which means a spoon. And you can see 2 different forms in this word. The 25th letter is kaf. Kaf sounds like k. For example, cake in English. And at the beginning and the middle of the word, it has this form. And at the end of the word, it's like this. For example, kar. Kar means job. And the 26th letter is a letter gaf. Gaf is pronounced like g. For example, go in English. At the beginning or middle of the word, it has this form. And at the end of the word, it has this one. It's very similar to letter kaf, you can see. And for example, is gorg. Gorg means wolf. You can see the 2 forms in this word. The 27th letter is letter lam. Lam is pronounced like l, for example, in lamp in English. It has 2 different forms, at the beginning and middle of the word, and also at the end of the word. For example, lab means lip. The 28th letter is letter mim, which is pronounced m, like mother in English. It has 2 forms. At the beginning and at the middle of the word is like this, and at the end of the word is like this one. For example, modar means mother. The 29th letter is nun. Nun is pronounced n, like nest in English. And the form at the beginning and the middle of the word is like this, and at the end of the word is like this. For example, non. Non, you can see 2 different forms in this word. Non means bread. The 30th letter is vav, which is pronounced v, like van in English. And in all positions, it has 1 form, is like this. But if in a word this letter is as a long vowel, it's pronounced like oo, like a long vowel in English word, for example, moon, oo. And sometimes it has a short vowel sound like o. And also in some words it has no sound. Just write it, but don't pronounce it, don't read it. At first, maybe it's a little bit complicated for you, but you will learn it and you will memorize all of these exceptions and forms in the letters, and you can read them without any problems. So let's see some examples for the letter Vav, which sometimes sounds V, sometimes U, O, or no sounds. For example, varzesh means sport. Here, letter Vav sounds V. Or the next example is tup. Tup means ball. Here, letter Vav sounds U. The next example is moz. Moz means banana. Here, letter Vav sounds O. Moz. And another example that the letter Vav has no sounds is in the word khab. Here we write the letter Vav in khab, but we won't pronounce it, which means asleep. Khab means asleep. And note that the letter Vav is the last one of those 7 letters that won't connect to the following letter. Now here it is, the 31st letter is letter He, which is pronounced He, like hotel in English. And it has 4 different forms in Persian. Let's see. In the beginning of the word and detached medial position, it is like this. For example, the word hotel, which means hotel in English also. Or the word dahan. Dahan means mouth. In the medial attached position, it is like this. For example, mohem. Mohem means important. In the final attached position, it is like this. For example, meh. Meh means fog. Finally, in the final detached position, it is like this. For example, mah means moon. In some final positions of this letter doesn't sound like he. It sounds like a short vowel like e. For example, khane means a house. We don't say khane. It's not he. It's e sound. Khane. And also note that in this case, if the letter followed by a vowel, then usually it won't attach to it. For example, if you want to say a house is like khane-i. You can see that aleph won't attach to he, and it is written like this. The 32nd letter and the final letter is letter ye, which sounds y in English like yes, and it has 2 forms. At the beginning or the middle of the word is like this one, and at the end of the word is like this. And also sometimes it can be a long vowel that sounds like e, for example, seen in English. And in some words that we borrowed from Arabic, it may has a sounds. For example, in the word hatta. Hatta means even. Okay guys, we finished the Persian alphabet, and I hope you learned it a lot and enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can ask me in comment below. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Khadafez.